Mother, if I can return alive this time, I promise I will get married.
Sophie, you are my one and only. I won't fall for anyone else. After I return safely, I'll stay by your side forever.
Blake, don't worry. I'll take care of Mother. Manage the home. And wait for your return.
Sophie, Freya and I fell for each other during battle. So I requested to marry her. The decree has been issued. She'll marry me and share the same status as you.
Blake, do you remember what you promised me? Back then?
Forget about that. I didn't know love back then. I just saw you as a suitable wife. But then I met Freya. She's different from any woman I've ever known. I love her very much.
I want to see her.
Wow, is she General Ernst? The one the Empress Dowager appointed?
She's amazing. I wish I could be like her.
Father, Mother, this is Freya Ernst, my soon-to-be wife.
You're truly extraordinary. Worthy of being the first female general.
Come on in.
You must be tired.
Sophie, come and meet Freya. She'll live with us from now on. You should get along well.
You did so much the past years for nothing. The Jeff residence is full of ungrateful people.
Miss Devon, Blake told me you wanted to see me. Do you have something to say to me?
The Empress Dowager once said, "You're the role model for all women." I just want to ask you in person, General Ernst, are you willing to be a concubine?
You brat. The Emperor granted the marriage. How can she be a concubine?
Freya is a general. How could she be a concubine? She'll have the same status as you.
Same status as me. Does our country even have such a rule?
Sophie, you've always been sensible. Since you're one of us, put our family first. Freya accomplished more in this battle than Blake. After they get married...
Well, I know what you mean.
Miss Devon, I despise stay-at-home ladies. Like you the most. And I'm not interested in being at odds with you. Just do the right thing and get along with me. Otherwise, I'll enforce military rules against you.
General Ernst, don't you forget, I'm the daughter of a general. My father and 6 brothers died in the south border 3 years ago. I'm also...
That was them, not you. You're just a housebound, delicate woman. You can't compare to Freya.
You proposed marriage and promised my mother that you would never take another wife. But you broke your word. Don't make it sound like I'm standing in your way.
So you mean that I've come between you two and should be out of the picture?
I told her the other day that I didn't know love, But after meeting you, my heart belongs only to you.
That's more like it.
How can you do this to Lady Sophie? She's the one who's been looking after Madame Jaffe and managing the house.
How insolent! You don't get to talk here.
Beth just wants to stand up for me. Father, don't be angry.
Freya and I didn't intend to hurt you. You'll still be my wife. Freya and I will spend most of our time in the army. You can raise the children I have with her. It'll affirm your status too.
I'll need to help you raise your children.
If you want a child, we can have a son or a daughter. But after that, I won't sleep with you anymore.
What about you? Do you agree to this?
I'm not the jealous type. Blake and I want what's best for you. If you have a child, your life will be more secure. As for whether Blake will sleep with you after you get pregnant, that's beyond my control.
Don't worry. After she gets pregnant, I won't touch her again.
No need to assure me. I'm not that petty, you know.
Father, Mother, do you agree too?
It's for the best. You'll help them raise their children so they can focus on their career and make contributions on the battlefield.
Things are already hard for women. Why are you still making it more difficult? Am I so pathetic to you that my life has to depend on the Jaffe family's offspring? Why must I be your tool and live a miserable life in this house? What do you take me for?
Miss Devon, this is the best we can offer. Don't push your luck.
Freya will leave her children to you. She should be the one who's upset. Sophie, just be grateful.
Yes, Sophie. You'll also benefit from their military achievements.
Let's get a divorce.
You'll use this divorce to play the victim and stop Blake from marrying me, won't you?
Freya, don't worry. This is a marriage approved by the Emperor. She can't stop us. Let's go.
Lady Sophie!
It's okay.
Generals! Your relationship is your business. But please don't mistreat Lady Sophie and push her around with your ranks. She won't.
How dare you? You're just a maid. What makes you think that you can tell me off?
Even as a humble maid, I know what's right and wrong. Yet you, as a general, got involved with a married man. And now you're using your rank to bully Lady Sophie.
Discipline your maid. She has no manners.
You have no right to reprimand my people.
Outrageous! This is outrageous!
Sophie, you hit your husband for a maid. This is out of line.
Mother, somebody! Call for Dr. Dunn!
Mother, please calm down. You just took the medicine yesterday. Its effects will only last for 5 days. After that, Dr. Dunn won't come to treat you anymore.
What?
Sophie, you won't let Dr. Dunn treat my mother? How can you be so vicious?
Blake, don't accuse me. Dr. Dunn said it himself that he won't come. He thinks treating an immoral person will shorten his life.
You,
Mother,
you wicked woman! Are you trying to kill me?
Beth, let's go.
Sophie, stop right there.
You can't leave. Miss Devon, aren't you worried people will say you're mistreating your mother-in-law? Or Blake might kick you out?
Go ahead.
Kick her out! She can forget about taking anything with her!
Okay, Let's meet with the patriarch of my family and our matchmakers tomorrow. I'll sign the divorce agreement once Blake has it ready.
Sophie, you should know that. If I divorce you, you can't take your dowry with you.
We'll see. If you can stop me.
Mother! Mother! Mother!
Ma'am,
Mother, are you okay?
are you okay, ma'am?
Mother!
Are you all right, ma'am?
Lady Sophie, you can't take anything if you're divorced. How could you agree to that?
Silly girl. Do you think they can do that to me?
Lady Sophie, do you have a plan in mind?
Your Majesty, Sophie Devon is still waiting outside the palace gate and has no intention of leaving.
I can't see her. I've granted approval between Freya and Blake. Even if she's an old acquaintance, I can't disappoint the two generals because of her. They've made great military achievements.
Your Majesty, speaking of that, didn't Marquis of Whelm, Lady Sophie's father, have gathered achievements than them?
You have a point. Let her in. I'll agree to anything except for revoking my decree.
Yes, Your Majesty. Summon Sophie Devon in!
Greetings, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, you granted approval for the marriage between General Jeffy and General Ernst because of their military feats. It's my father and brother's death anniversary. I'd like you to grant my request, too, for their service.
Sophie, I can't rescind my decree, so just give up.
Your Majesty, please allow me to divorce General Jeffy.
Divorce? So instead of revocation, you want divorce?
Your Majesty, I'm the only one left in my family. My father and brothers were courageous and honorable men. I don't want to settle for a life of compromises.
I know. You love Blake. Can you let him go?
Since he doesn't want me, I can let him go as well.
You may leave now. I'll issue the decree in a few days.
So, you've agreed?
You'll find out then.
Thanks, Your Majesty.
We have no other good military leaders besides Ralph. I approved Blake and Freya's marriage due to their military achievements, but Blake has indeed done Sophie wrong. Pass the word, I won't see him and Freya when they're here.
Yes, Your Majesty. Generals, please leave. His Majesty won't see you today.
This is weird. His Majesty summoned us to the palace. Why did he suddenly refuse to see us?
I'm puzzled too.
Lady Sophie waited for an hour at the gate for an audience with the Emperor.
Apparently, she asked His Majesty to annul the marriage between General Jaffe and General Ernst.
Such a narrow-minded lady. The moment our talk ended, she came to complain and stop our marriage. She's so wicked.
Freya, don't worry. She would have her way. Sophie Devon.
Huh? What do you want?
Beth, give us a moment.
You went to complain to the Emperor and asked him to revoke the marriage decree. Did you not?
I didn't.
A lady from a military family would take responsibility for her actions. Sophie, you're such a hypocrite!
It looks like I've never really known this man. His Majesty didn't say yes. Your marriage with her still stands.
Sophie, I never expected you to be so evil. Initially, I felt guilty about repudiating you tomorrow, but now I don't. You deserve to be kicked out of my house.
Beth, see him out.
General, please leave.
Silly girl. Why are you crying?
I just feel it's unfair to you. You treated them so well, but they still bullied you.
Because right now, to them, I'm not as important as Freya, who has military merits.
Lady Sophie, you're the most important to me.
All right, stop crying. You stay here to pack our things with Madame Shaw tomorrow. No matter what a decree says, we're leaving the Jeffy residence.
But Lady Sophie, won't they bully you if you go to the meeting alone?
Do you have so little faith in me? Do you think they can push me around?
Men have always been fickle. It's nothing new. But repudiating the wife for a new love is something new.
Uncle Paul, please have some tea.
Mr. Devon Sr., what do you mean by that? Freya will have the same status as her as a wife and won't overpower her. Are you implying that we're bullying her? Tell everyone, have we mistreated you?
Mother, you didn't mistreat me. But you just favor the more powerful new daughter-in-law over me.
You!
Sophie, ask yourself. Since you married into our family, has anyone ever scolded you or hit you? Did your mother-in-law make you follow any rules?
No. But for the past year, I've been caring for her day and night, using my own jewelry to cover her expensive medical bills. She certainly couldn't be mean to me or make me follow any rules. Am I right, Madam Jeffy?
Our whole family has treated you well, but you...
Mr. Jeffy, that's not entirely true. Everyone in your family has treated me well. Because all the expenses of the Jeffy family are paid by my own dory. Yet you're ungrateful. And still trying to get your hands on my dowry.
Sophie! Freya and Blake's marriage was decreed by the Emperor. You're just jealous and disrespectful of us.
Disrespectful of you? Everyone in Telford knows that since she's got married, she's practically lived in your room. To take care of you, handling your daily needs, and preparing your medicine. How can that be considered disrespectful?
But once the marriage decree was issued, she refused to let Dr. Dunn treat me and went to ask the Emperor to annul Freya and my son's marriage. Tell me, Mr. Devon Sr., isn't that out of jealousy?
You!
I agree to the divorce. But Madam Jeffy, what about the dowry?
We don't care about your dowry. But since you're divorced, according to the rules, you'll get nothing, considering you've cared for me for a year. we'll only keep 70% of your dowry, and you can take the rest.
This is ridiculous! And you're still denying coveting Sophie's dowry? You're just bullying her because her family is gone, so you want to make that woman a legitimate wife and take Sophie's dowry by throwing mud on her. If word gets out, how are you going to maintain your reputation?
Uncle Paul, please calm down. General Jeffy, I respect you and General Ernst for your service to the nation. Just be fair and tell me if you'll keep the 70% of my dowry.
Blake, show me around your mansion.
Freya, let's not take Sophie's dowry, okay?
Sure. I know you're a man of honor and won't want her dowry. Besides, your family doesn't need this small amount of money.
I'll pay her back what she spent on us over the past years.
Spend on you? She's been using her dowry to support your family in the past year?
The medicine Dr. Dunn prescribes for my mother is expensive. We're barely making ends meet, so she's been helping us pay for it.
You mean that your family is basically broke?
Yes. But don't worry. We've made our mark. So our salary and rewards will be good in the future.
If you return the full dowry, won't that make people think you're in the wrong?
You mean?
Blake, you must keep half of her dowry.
Half. We'll only return half of a dowry. Mr. Devon, Sr., if you're not okay, you can take it to the authority and see if my offer is fair.
General Jeffy, you're so kind to let me keep half of my dowry. In that case, I don't need to go easy on you anymore.
Half of it? How could you say that? When Sophie married you, she bought a huge dowry with a lot of money, land and property. How can you be so greedy?
I just said it. You can take it to the authority. Here's the divorce agreement. Have a look.
Mrs. Jeffy is wonderful. Such a shame.
You're divorced for being unreasonably jealous.
I hope you remarry. Stop playing such underhanded tricks. Be sincere with us, and you'll find happiness.
Thank you for your advice. But this letter isn't stamped by the authority yet.
I'll get it stamped later. As for the dowry, I've been generous. According to the rules, divorced wives can't take their dowry. Please do not blame me. This is all your fault.
After all that I've done for your family, this is what I get. It's indeed my fault, isn't it?
Sophie, take the dowry list out. Blake is willing to give you half of your dowry. Let's just divide it according to the list.
This is outrageous! You're too much!
So, this is how my mother-in-law is repaying me for tending her. My dedication over the years means nothing to her. Come and get it.
Go and take it. Let's sort this out. And get it over with as soon as possible.
What are you doing?
I mean, you need to use your skills to get the list.
What tricks are you playing? Do you want me to fight you?
I want to see how skilled the General of Idra is.
You know martial arts.
I'm not very skilled, but better than you.
How arrogant.
The daughter of the Marquis of Whelm isn't some easy meat.
Her skills are far better than mine. I'm no match for her at all. Why didn't you mention you know martial arts?
Guess.
Well, you've ruined the dowry list. Get lost, you wicked woman! Get out of here now!
Do you think you can stop me from taking anything from here?
Don't you dare! If you do that, I'll report you to the authority. You're divorced, so you can't take anything with you.
Somebody! Chase her out! These belong to us! You can't take any of them!
Hold on. Decree from His Majesty.